Hello, believers of Christ. Hope you're doing well. Today I'll be taking you guys through Genesis chapter 6, verse 13. And it says, "So God said to Noah, I'm going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth." That's the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So this verse has 7 main teachings or lessons we can take away from it. The first one, God sees the full scope of human wickedness. The end of all flesh is come, shows that humanity had reached the limits of corruption. God's perspective sees the totality of sin, not just isolated actions. The second teaching, violence and corruption are serious offenses. The earth is filled with violence, highlights that unchecked sin harms the world. God does not tolerate evil that destroys life and order. The third teaching, God's judgment is certain. I will destroy them with the earth, shows that God acts decisively when sin is rampant. Justice is a key attribute of God, as seen in Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 4. That's a spoiler, we'll get there. Yes, justice is a key attribute of God. God is a God of justice. The fourth teaching, God's patience is not endless. Previous warnings and the spirit striving with humanity had been ignored, so action is taken here by God. Human rebellion has limits before God's justice intervenes. Yes, human rebellion has limits. God has limits for humanity, especially when it comes to sin and human rebellion. God has limits. Then finally, his justice intervenes. The fifth teaching, God communicates clearly before acting. He tells Noah his plan, showing that God gives warning and opportunity before judgment. Obedience to God's instructions are essential. Yes, we should listen and abide to God's instructions obediently. The sixth teaching, destruction can lead to preservation for the righteousness. Though God declares destruction, Noah and his family will be saved, teaching that God's judgment is just and selective, as we're going to see in the next episodes and next verses. God protects those who walk with him faithfully. The seventh and final teaching, sin's consequences are both individual and collective. The judgment is on all flesh, illustrating that sin often has widespread generational and communal impact. Yes, sin has widespread generational and communal impact. We as Christians should take violence, sin, and corruption seriously. They have real consequences. We as Christians should recognize that God observes the full impacts of our actions. We as Christians should heed God's warnings because obedience before judgment is wise. We as Christians should strive for righteousness even when the majority is corrupt. We as Christians should understand that sin affects communities and the world, not just the sinner. We as Christians should trust God to protect those who are faithful amid judgment or amidst judgment. Yes. We as Christians should live with awareness that God's patience has limits. Thus, we should repent and always walk in holiness. So that's all I had for today, guys. Thank you very much. And as usual, God bless.